What's going on, Sixer Nation? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today I'm breaking down 5 lineups that we absolutely need to see the Philadelphia 76ers roll out during the 2019-2020 NBA season. We'll start off with a pretty simple one. We'll start off with their current starting lineup. This is who I think everyone expects to be in that starting 5 on night 1 of the NBA season. Your point guard, it's Ben Simmons, okay? Look, he just got the big extension. He's ready to step in and take another step forward. Josh Richardson coming over from the Miami Heat in the Jimmy Butler sign and trade. Tobias Harris just re-upped his deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. He's looking to make a big impact on this team as the true third option now with Jimmy Butler out of the picture. And then Al Horford in at the power forward position next to Joel Embiid, who everybody knows is going to be the main focus of this team. But I want to shift my focus to Al Horford. He agreed to a 4-year, $109 million deal with the 76ers this past season. Look, they paid him a lot, but only $97 million of that deal is completely guaranteed, so he'll still have to try to earn the rest of that money. Look, the 76ers needed another big man. They wanted another big man. They liked the idea of a true power forward next to Joel Embiid, rather than just putting Tobias Harris in there or going out and getting another wing to replace Jimmy Butler. They kind of did that with Josh Richardson, so they're like, hey, Al Horford, established veteran, he can stretch the floor, let's bring him in. Last year with the Celtics, he put up good numbers, but his numbers don't really speak to just how good his game is. 13.6 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists, and he stretched the floor, like I just mentioned, at 36% from 3. I think Al Horford is going to fit in so perfectly next to Joel Embiid as a floor spacer and as a guy who can defend those smaller power forwards that Joel Embiid might not be able to keep up with. But there's not a lot that Joel Embiid can't do on the floor. In fact, he's so good, I think he's going to be in the running for MVP next season. But the Sixers have 2 great players. They have 2 all-star level players in Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. So which one has a better shot at winning MVP next year? Look, the Sixers are going to be at the top of the East. They're going to have an MVP caliber player, but which one is it? Type B for Ben Simmons or type J for Joel Embiid? Now, one of my favorite players to play with on NBA 2K is Joel Embiid. The dude's an absolute beast. You can't stop him. You can't get a rebound off of him. And if you want to play with Joel Embiid in NBA 2K20 for free, here's what you got to do. Go to our friends at MyBookie, sign up and deposit. You put $50 down. They're going to give you $50 for free when you use our promo code CHATNBA. You place that first bet and then email us, promo@chatsports.com, and I'll make sure we get you a free copy of NBA 2K when it releases on September 6th. Let's keep it rolling with these 76ers lineups that I'm excited to watch. This is the defensive-driven lineup. This is where defense wins championships. You keep Ben Simmons in at the point guard position because he can guard the small guards, he can guard the bigger guards. Heck, he can guard some power forwards in all reality. You got James Ennis, who came back in free agency this summer. He's a good wing defender, really someone that I don't think the Rockets wanted to let go, but they did, and the 76ers now have him going into next season. Al Horford and Joel Embiid, again, that's your defensive front court. I don't think that changes at all. But that 2-guard position, look, Josh Richardson, he's a good 2-guard. He's a good defensive player there. But I like Matisse Thybulle more. I think he is a perfect defensive wing in this 76ers lineup. And I think he's going to be a perfect NBA defensive wing in the league. Look, if you watched our draft coverage, you know just how high I was on the defensive player of the year. The guy doesn't put up the offensive numbers by any means. 9 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. It's not bad. But he also averaged 3 steals and 2 blocks per game. No other guard did that. The dude's 6'5". He can defend anybody you want him to. You say, hey, Matisse, we're going to need you to go guard this guy tonight. He's like, all right, coach, I got it. He's going to go defend the best wing player on that other team. And let's not forget the fact that he's probably had the coolest name in the entire draft. Matisse Thybulle, are you kidding me? That's the coolest name I've ever heard. I would get a jersey just to have Thybulle on the back of it. So who has the coolest name in the NBA? Is it Matisse Thybulle? You got another guy out there. Maybe you like Taco Fall. Maybe you like that name. Whatever it may be, let me know in the comments section. I'll take a look, let you know what I think is the coolest name in the league right now. Next lineup here for the 76ers, this is the bench mob. So this is when you take out all the starters, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, they all need a breather. You're like, all right, new 5, you're going in. And this is who I've got. Zhaire Smith, James Ennis, Jonah Bolden, Kyle O'Quinn, and Trey Burke. Now, let's take a focus in here on Trey Burke, because in all reality, that front court of Kyle O'Quinn and Jonah Bolden isn't super impressive, but Trey Burke, I'm excited about him for Philly. Being here in Dallas, I got to watch a ton of Trey Burke basketball last season, and I'll tell you what, 76er fans, I think you're getting a bargain. 1 year veteran minimum is a bargain for Trey Burke. He's not a great passing point guard. He's not a great facilitator. He's not really going to look to get other guys involved all that much. But when you need a bucket, whether it's from mid-range, whether it's from three, whether you want him to drive, Trey Burke can do that. I mean, last season, his time between the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks, 11 points per game. And then you see there the assist at three. You probably want a little bit more from a point guard. But as a backup, this is perfect. And he's a perfect counterpunch to Ben Simmons when he comes off the bench. 36% from three from Trey Burke is more than good enough. I think they got a steal here, getting him on the veterans minimum deal. But in all reality, that bench isn't going to be playing all that much together without some starters on the floor. James Ennis, a nice piece. Zhaire Smith, they hope he takes a step forward after getting healthy. Kyle O'Quinn, he's a good veteran. Jonah Bolden, they need him to take a step up. But do you think that Philly should make a move to bolster that bench, whether it's in free agency, to pick up some guys that are still left out on the market, whether it's a trade mid-season? Let me know what you think. If you think they should, type Y for yes. If you don't think they need to, type in for no. However, here's a little caveat. If you type your Y for yes, I want you to tell me what move you want them to make. Put it down in the comment section. Play GM here for the Philadelphia 76ers. Hashtag trust the process. Now, let's move to the youth movement, because Philadelphia is one of these young, up-and-coming teams that's also in win-now mode. I mean, in all reality, they can win now and they can win for the next 5 years, and it wouldn't really surprise anybody. You keep the same point guard in there in Joel Embiid and in Ben Simmons, and then your big man's Joel Embiid. And that's your big two for right now. That's your big two for 5 to 10 years from now, for crying out loud. Your two guard is Zhaire Smith, who I'm super excited about. He obviously had a bunch of weird injuries his rookie season out of Texas Tech. But I think he's going to be a good piece. He showed out in the Summer League. He's super freakishly athletic, and hopefully that jump shot's coming around as well. In the forward position, it's my guy, Matisse Thybulle. You put him in for defensive purposes. That three-point shot, he's got good form. It's just not all there yet. And then Jonah Bolden's your power forward. That's kind of your big question mark in this little lineup. But one guy that's not a question mark, at least when it comes to his overall play, is Ben Simmons. I mean, he signed a 5-year, $170 million extension for a reason. The dude's great. He's an all-star level player. Look, we've seen some video of him working on his jump shot in the summer, but you got to take that with a grain of salt, because everybody looks way better in July than they do in October. Maybe it's actually getting better. We'll see if that's the case here with Ben Simmons, but the 76ers core is absolutely clear. You got Ben Simmons running the point. You got Tobias Harris as your scoring third option. You got Joel Embiid manning the middle alongside Al Horford, the established veteran there. Last year, Ben Simmons put up ridiculous numbers. 16.9 points per game, 8.8 rebounds. He's probably the best. Actually, I take that back. He is the best rebounding point guard, maybe outside of Russell Westbrook. And assists, 7.7. The guy just doesn't look to get his own shot. He looks to get other players involved. That's what makes Ben Simmons so special. If he can just learn how to shoot a dang three-pointer, maybe even a mid-range shot, Ben Simmons is going to be so unstoppable in the NBA. I can't wait to watch him, and hopefully that improved jumper next year. But the two guys that I'm excited to watch as well, because we haven't seen a lot of them, Zhaire Smith and Matisse Thybulle. But which one is going to have the bigger impact next season for a playoff-bound Philadelphia team? I think it's going to be Zhaire. He's obviously the second-year guy. Type Z in the comment section. I think it's going to be Matisse Thybulle. Type M in the comment section below. I'm going to take Matisse Thybulle. I think defensively, he just makes an immediate NBA impact, and I'm excited to watch the dude out of Washington. But I love Matisse Thybulle, and you guys love the 76ers. So here's what you got to do. Subscribe to Chat Sports. Get us to 150,000 subscribers so we can keep doing these 76er videos. Heck, maybe we'll get to 176,000 subscribers, and then we'll make a whole 76ers channel just to celebrate that. Who knows? No promises there. But if you love the 76ers, if you love the NBA, youtube.com/chatsportstv, or just hit that big red button that says subscribe. Get us to 150K. Forget about 140K. All right, let's look at the floor spacing lineup for the 76ers, because the Lord knows that this 76ers team doesn't space the floor super well when Ben Simmons is out on the court. So here's what you got to do. You put in your newly signed backup, Trey Burke. I like the dude. I think he's going to make a good impact for the 76ers off the bench. You get Josh Richardson in there. Marial Shayok was a knockdown three-point shooter at Iowa State. Now, we'll get to him in just a minute, so stay tuned. Tobias Harris, we already know he's about 40% from three, and if he's your power forward shooting threes, you're pretty well off. And then Al Horford there in the middle at 36%. Everybody on the floor right now, you got to guard on the perimeter. And if you need a three-pointer, if you need a three-point bucket at the end of the game, you're not going to have Ben Simmons in there. You're not really going to have Joel Embiid over Al Horford in there. You put these five in, you'll get a bucket. Let's talk about Marial Shayok. Now, he was a second-round pick for the Philadelphia 76ers this past year. And in all honesty, I think he could have gone higher. I really liked watching Marial Shayok last year at Iowa State. He was stuck in Virginia at UVA, and he was just not getting the consistent minutes he needed to be an NBA player. But once he went over to Iowa State, playing some Big 12 basketball, he had a breakout year. So he signed that two-way contract with the 76ers after an impressive summer league. If you don't know what a two-way deal is, basically, Shayok's going to spend half the time in the G League and half the time in the NBA. But I can promise you this. When the 76ers need a three-point shooter in their lineup, they're not going to be leaving Shayok in the G League. Last season, he's a bucket getter, 18.7 points per game. He's a good defender. He got enough rebounds as a small forward, and there it is, 39% from beyond the three-point arc. I'm excited to see if Marial Shayok can make a name for himself in the league because, in all honesty, he's going to be an impressive player, I think, eventually. And he's a good three-point shooter, unlike Ben Simmons, who's never made a three-pointer in his career. But everybody's like, hey, next year, that's Ben Simmons' year to make a three-pointer. So if you believe that, how many three-pointers is Ben Simmons going to make next season? Let me know in the comment section.